should have everybody here. We can get started. So first, right off the bat, we like to introduce ourselves. My name is Caroline Jones. I am a B2C sales specialist here at SportsRecruits. So I work with individual families, helping them identify which membership option will be the right fit, introducing them to the SportsRecruits platform, basically making sure that they're set up for success. I went to Penn State for undergrad. I worked with the women's soccer team while I was there, and then went on to work for U.S. Soccer after I graduated. Worked there for a couple of years working with the youth national teams, and then made my way over to SportsRecruits. I love working with families. I love meeting with families and helping you really take that next step towards college recruiting. All right, so SportsRecruits, let's just talk really quick about the SportsRecruits network. I always say to families when we're on calls, you've got student athletes on one side of the recruiting process, and then you've got college coaches on the other side. Think of SportsRecruits as that bridge to connect student athletes and coaches, right? It's where a student athlete can market themselves to college programs, but it's also where college coaches can come in and say, hey, I need a 2027 libero that has at least a 3.3 GPA. Show me those student athletes. Coaches come to SportsRecruits every day looking for student athletes and reaching out to them. So really great place to connect. We've been working with families for about 15 years. And every single college in the country is on the SportsRecruits platform, big and small, from this, a small junior college all the way up to the biggest Division I programs that you can think of. Everybody is on SportsRecruits. All right, let's run through the agenda real quick. So we'll talk about exposure. We'll talk about building a list of schools. We're definitely going to talk about video and recruiting. It's so important to have video in your recruiting process. We'll also walk through messaging college coaches and really communicating with college programs. Talk through a couple of SportsRecruits resources. I have a few slides at the end to walk you through the different membership options for families who are looking for a little more one-on-one help. If you have an account through your club program, you are all set. You do not need an individual package option. This is for families who do need that individual option. And then, of course, we have our Q&A. All right. So exposure. Every single day, I hear from families, I need to get my name out there. I need to show coaches what I've got to offer. Great. Build your SportsRecruits profile. Your SportsRecruits profile is essentially your recruiting resume, right? It's your opportunity to paint a picture in a college coach's mind of who you are, both on and off the field or on and off the court, in and out of the pool, you name it. This is that snapshot of you. It's your first impression with a college program. All right, so in your SportsRecruits profile, make sure you've got what positions you play, your grades, your grad year, who you play for, your club team and your high school information, any academic honors you've received. Your video should live on your profile. I mean, truly everything that college coaches need to know about you should live on there. And I hear from families sometimes like, oh, well, he's going to grow a few inches over the next few years, or he's going to keep improving. So we're worried about posting video. I get it, but your profile, you're updating it as you move forward, right? You're keeping this profile up to date. The profile is sticking with you for, if you're a freshman all the way through high school. You're going to change your grades. You're going to change your height. If you're a pitcher, how fast you're pitching, you name it. So make sure you're keeping that profile up to date, because rest assured, college coaches, when they favorite your profile, they're going to keep coming back in to see those updates. You want to make sure you've got really clean data for these college coaches to see. All right, so the long and the short of it is your profile is your recruiting resume. Update it as you move forward. Keep it refreshed. All right, so building your list of target schools. This is something that I am cautious talking to families about, especially if you are early in the recruiting process, meaning maybe you're an eighth grader or even a freshman, sometimes even a sophomore, and you come in and you're like, I can't start the recruiting process. I don't know where I want to go to school. Pump the brakes. You do not need to know exactly where you want to go to school at this point. You need to know that you are interested in playing at the next level. I always compare your target list of schools and your list of schools in general throughout the recruiting process to like a funnel, right? You start your recruiting process with a bunch of different types of schools in the mix. Say, for example, and if you're looking at these different circles here or these different categories, maybe okay, I don't know exactly where I want to go to school, but I don't want to go too far from home. Great. You can use our school search tool to filter for schools that are closer to home, but then you can open up your options to say, okay, let me throw some D1 schools on there, maybe D2, D3, junior college, NAIA schools. Give yourself a wide range of options because I promise you, as you get a little bit older, or as you start to especially hear back from college coaches and have those conversations, that'll help you narrow down your list and figure out, okay, it looks like I'm getting the most interest from D2 schools. I should focus on those D2 programs or D1, or maybe you decide, all right, D1 probably isn't going to be the right fit because I want to study abroad. Great. Then you already have these D3 schools that you've researched. Maybe you've talked to those coaches. You can focus on those schools. But these are I guess, different factors that we've identified that can really help families figure out schools that are the right fit. What majors are you interested in? When do you want to see the field athletically? Maybe you're talking to your coaches and getting that feedback of, I think you could play D1, or I think D3 would be the perfect fit for you. Like that's something to really consider. Geographically, realistically, how far do you want to go from home? Are you willing to go across the country? Or, is a school that in the South, if you play baseball or softball, for example, and you don't want to be playing inside for several months out of the year, like start thinking about that. You can really, I think you'll be able to narrow down a list of schools a lot easier than you think when you start to really think about these different categories. You want to be involved in Greek life, financially, be realistic with your family and have these conversations about, okay, what can we afford? Different scholarship opportunities, athletic scholarships, academic scholarships. This is something, on my team working with the recruiting advisors, this is something we talk with families a lot about is, okay, let's be realistic and let's put together a list of schools that's going to check as many boxes for you as possible. But again, you're not set on your list of schools. It's going to change and fluctuate over the next few years as you continue on in your recruiting process. The school search tool, this is available for anybody on SportsRecruits. Whether you have a paid account or a free account, you are able to use this advanced school search tool. It's so helpful. So you can filter by location. Say you want to major in engineering or in architecture or aviation. Even I talk to families who have specific majors that are definitely not offered at every school. So use this to your advantage. When you find a school that you like, make sure you favorite that school so that it's stored in your list of favorites and you can keep coming back to that. Coaches can see the student athletes that have favorited their schools. So it's kind of like giving, almost like having that mutual connection or that mutual interest. You should definitely favorite all of the schools that you're even remotely interested in. The roster needs filter, depending on your sport, may or may not be available. This is also available for paid accounts, not for free accounts. But to give you the quick rundown, the roster needs filter shows you the open roster spots a college is recruiting for in upcoming class years. So say, for example, on the Nebraska volleyball page, it may say they are looking for 2027 middle blockers. It would show you that. And it's all college coach reported, which I think is awesome. You're not taking our word for it. It is the college coaches coming into SportsRecruits and reporting on this information, and they're keeping it up to date in real time. So a really great tool, saves you a ton of time, especially if you're later on in your recruiting process, say you're a 2026 or a 2025, it's really important for you to know, okay, which schools are actively recruiting my position. And then the list of favorites, I referred to this earlier, but one thing I do want to make sure colleges can't see all of the other schools that you've favorited. So don't worry about a coach knowing that you've got 50 other schools on your list. They can only see that you have an interest in their school, and they also don't know where you've ranked them on your list or what you've categorized them as. So they won't see that you listed them as a safety or a reach or a fit. They only see, great, Josh is interested in my school. Perfect. So yeah, play with this list. I know it may seem trivial, but it'll save you so much time and energy. You don't need to build a spreadsheet with all the coaches' contact information and all these schools that you've reached out to. We've already built this out within the platform. Use it to your advantage. Video is so important. I say this every day to families. Your video is your evidence to show a college coach what you've got to offer. Outside of playing in front of them, it is the only way really you're going to be able to showcase your skill set to these coaches. You can have your club coaches reach out on your behalf, but at the end of the day, coaches are going to want to see you play. It's honestly becoming the most important way to make an impression with a college coach. It used to be, when you're at these events, great, coaches can see you play, but now they're recruiting, 100 guys at a time or 100 girls at a time. Going to an event can be really overwhelming for a coach. They may not see you play. So your video is a really great tool and resource for you to be able to showcase your skill set for those coaches. And then it's really important also to not say, okay, check, I have video. Now I can cross that off my list. Yes, but also when you've got new video or, in a couple of weeks or in a month, you should be posting more video to your profile so coaches can continue to evaluate you and, not for nothing, to follow your athletic development. We talked about this a little bit earlier, but where you are as a freshman is going to be totally different from where you are as a junior. So being able to show coaches that in chronological order, how you've grown and how you've progressed will then probably be a good indicator to those coaches. Okay, I mean, if she's playing like this as a freshman and then as a junior, who knows what she can do when she actually gets to the college level. So a really great way to show these coaches that you're continuing to develop and your potential. Different types of video. We've got a bunch of different resources for families. You can build a highlight reel on SportsRecruits, or you can build one on your own and upload it to your profile. We also have a post-production team at SportsRecruits who can build a highlight reel for you. So they'll do the isolation effects, the transitions, they'll clip it out, they will do the title card, they'll make it look really good. You can also post live and unedited footage. So maybe if you're a pitcher, you post a full inning so that coaches can really watch you. A skills video would be maybe if you're a goalkeeper and you're doing goalie training, like you play soccer and you're a goalkeeper. Great to have that skills video from working with a coach or running drills so they can see different angles, they can see your mechanics, see how good your hands are. And this goes for not just goalkeepers. I mean, truly any sport and any position, having a skills video is really good to show coaches, not just in a game setting, but how do you train? How do you run drills? How do you practice? And then pinned playlists, that is a newer feature on SportsRecruits. It's really cool. It's a lot easier than building a highlight reel because you're uploading clips that you want, trimming them, and then tagging them so that coaches can see, they can filter based on what they're looking for. So really easy. I highly recommend everybody builds a pinned playlist if they're able to. It can really be a good way to kind of show coaches what you've got. Video is also, I understand it's overwhelming. On my team, we work with families all the time on what to include in your video. You specifically as a player, we're talking more generalized right now, but like one-on-one, how should we show your skill set? How should we show your strengths? We work with families all the time on video. Adding video is really easy. You upload it. Maybe you've got video on Huddle or Ball Time or YouTube. Anywhere you've got your video, you can embed that link so coaches can see it. Or if it's just from your phone, you can upload that directly. From your computer, you can upload video for pretty much anywhere. It's really easy. But make sure that when you do upload video, you're actually going into the video library and toggling say you upload a highlight reel, make sure you're toggling it visible so coaches can see it right when they log into your profile or when they visit your profile. And unlimited video uploads regardless of your membership level. All right, so you've got your profile built out, you've got a list of schools, you've got video that you're ready to show coaches. Now what? I can't tell you, I know I sound like a broken record, But I can't tell you how many families I talk to and they're like, hey, we're not getting any looks from coaches. Nobody's viewing your profile. And I have to say, well, what have you done? Have you reached out to these schools? Have you contacted these coaches? 90% of the time, I would say it starts with the student athlete. You need to reach out to coaches. You need to contact coaches and introduce yourself, give them a little bit of information about you so that they will come to your profile and make that connection. So, a couple of reasons that you should contact coaches would be before and after events. You should never go to an event, especially like a camp or a showcase or anywhere there will be college coaches present. You should never go to one of those without reaching out to schools ahead of time. Even if they're not going to be in attendance, it's a good touch point. It's good for these coaches to know where you're playing. Transcripts, test scores, in-season updates, pretty much, you want to be that squeaky wheel with these college programs. You want to remind them that you are interested in their school. We have heard from coaches, hey, if I don't hear from a student athlete for a few months, I pretty much assume that they're no longer interested in my school or, in playing at the next level. So you do need to be, I always say you don't expect to get your dream job if you don't apply for it. Same thing goes for college recruiting. You need to put yourself in a position to be seen and a position of, being professional with these coaches. They're not going to beg you to come play for their school. They want to know that you're interested in their school. So definitely do that. We've got the messaging system. If you have a paid account, you're already able to use the messaging system. If you have the free plan, schedule a call. I'll walk you through your options, but the messaging system is awesome. We already have all the coaches. So all their contact information is stored in SportsRecruits. All you have to do is come into the messaging system, type in Vanderbilt University, click on the coaches that you want to contact, write what you want to say in your email. And when you send out that email to a coach, it's still personalized. It's still coming from you. It says your first and last name on that email. And then at the bottom, it automatically attaches a link to your full profile. So all the coach needs to do is click on that link. They're pulled into your profile. Everything is tracked so you can see which schools look at your video, which schools look at your profile, who is, clicking on your academic transcript. When you email coaches, it goes to their SportsRecruits inbox and it goes to their .edu. So there's no way they're missing it. And then on top of this, we want you to have transparency. We want you to know, Caroline, I reached out to 50 schools. I'm working hard. We want you to know that that's going somewhere. We want you to know that that's paying off for you. That's why we have college coach views. So you're able to see anytime a college looks at your video or looks at your profile, like I was just mentioning, it's not just when you email coaches, it's at any time. A lot of times this will happen at an event, or say you go to a coach's camp, or you've sent out emails, or you post a new video, you will start to see these coaches coming in and viewing that information. And it would say Vanderbilt University viewed your video at 5:45 p.m. It'll tell you what's going on. You'll also get text message and email notifications, and it will appear in your activity feed. So a couple of resources that we have here. We have webinars. You're obviously on a webinar. We have webinars. We have the knowledge base with, more of like help articles if you need help with your profile. Our blog is awesome. It's, recruiting advice. We've been doing a lot with, the changes in the NCAA and the legislation recently. So that's a helpful resource for you. And then you can always, of course, reach out to our customer success team, help@sportsrecruits.com, or I will drop my email again into the chat. I never know if you drop something into the chat earlier on and then somebody joins later, I never know if the people who join later get that. So yeah, that's my email. And then before we do the Q&A, let's talk through the different membership options. Again, if you are set up with SportsRecruits through your club, you guys are all set. This is just for student athletes who have a free plan and are looking to upgrade, or have the Pro Plan and are looking to upgrade for more support. So we've got 4 different memberships. We'll start with Pro. Pro is the platform plan. It unlocks the messaging system we walked through, unlocks the college coach views on your profile, also unlocks that roster needs filter. It is available on a monthly basis for $99 or an annual basis for $399. So this is the annual or the monthly option. We also have 3 lifetime Pro plans. When I say lifetime, I mean, say you're a freshman. If you purchase silver or gold or platinum, You have it all the way through graduation. This includes college graduation. So if you ever transfer or you want to do a fifth year somewhere, you still have your Sports Recruits plan. So you're not paying annually like you would have if you did the Pro plan. So Silver, it's like a recruiting starter kit. So you get lifetime access to Pro, like I just mentioned. We'll build you one professional highlight reel. So our post-production team will build you a really great video. And then you also have a strategy session with a recruiting analyst. So your family meets on Zoom with a recruiting analyst for, 45 minutes to an hour, and think of it like a crash course in your next steps. So talking about your goals, talking about what you've done so far, and then putting together a step-by-step game plan for you guys to then use throughout the next however long you have in your recruiting process. They'll answer questions about video, scholarships, timeline, what to say in emails. They'll help you with anything you need. It is your time to meet with that recruiting analyst and get some help. You also get email templates in the Silver plan. The Gold plan, the most popular option. So many families come to Sports Recruits saying, okay, platform sounds great. A strategy session sounds really helpful, but I know we need more help than that. What happens when we have questions along the way? You should do the Gold plan in that case. You have unlimited recruiting support. So you've got our recruiting guidance team to lean on at any time, whether it's a question about an email you got from a coach or whether you should go to a certain camp you were invited to. Maybe you have a question about FAFSA or the admissions process. You can ask our team anything, any situation that you're in, they've dealt with before. We've been working with families for 15 years. We can definitely help you out. You also get 2 professional highlight reel credits with that Gold plan instead of 1. And then the most comprehensive, the most hands-on is absolutely the Platinum plan. If you want somebody to step in and take the reins and guide your family through step by step, you should do the Platinum plan. I always say, think of it like the student athlete's in the driver's seat, the recruiting analyst is sitting in the passenger seat, pointing you in every direction you need to go in. So timelines, targeting schools, recruiting video, emailing coaches, scholarships, camps and showcases. You have a dedicated recruiting analyst, so it's the same analyst helping you from day one till you graduate. They're proactively monitoring and managing your recruiting process with you. So they're right alongside you. You have unlimited professional highlight reels with that plan. You also have unlimited contact with your recruiting analyst. So whether that's, usually you're setting up regular strategy sessions with your recruiting analyst, but you're also able to call, email, text, you name it. They are your person. They're with you every step of the way. All right, I'm going to drop my calendar link again into the chat. So talking about, I know we just went through a ton of information. Let's talk about your family specifically. Schedule a call. It's a quick call, 10 to 15 minutes, whatever works best for you, or longer if you have more questions. We'll talk about these different options. I can definitely help you find the right plan for your family. Everybody's different, but we definitely want to help. So please schedule a call. I'm happy to walk you through anything. And now we can get to our Q&A. Please drop any questions you have into the Q&A so I can help out as much as I can. Give it a couple minutes here. And again, this will be the recording for this webinar will be sent to everyone tomorrow via email, and it'll be uploaded onto our webinar page. Trying to think of anything else. Okay, I have a question in here. When is the right time to start your recruiting process? This is such a classic question. I get it all the time from families. Typically, I recommend starting the process of building your profile, getting, an initial list of schools together, getting some video put together. That should be, that should really be 8th or 9th grade. But don't panic if you're a junior right now or you're a sophomore right now and you're just starting the process. It's not too late. It's just, if you feel like you're early, you probably aren't, is kind of the long and the short of it. Is there a link to set up the profile? I just got this question. Visit sportsrecruits.com. So it's just sportsrecruits.com. And then you will see sign up now. You can create a free profile. Okay. Let's see. Got that. How would video work for a sport like track? That is a great question. Your starts, your finishes, if you do relays, your handoffs, if you do any field events, that's obvious, filming that. But still, I mean, even though it's all about your times with track, it really is helpful for college coaches to see your mechanics. So a skills video would be great, or from a big track meet, you should definitely post video from that. Let's see. What are the best ways to create a highlight reel? So a highlight reel should be 15 to 20 clips, no more than 3 to 3.5 minutes long, all of your best clips. So don't feel like, oh, I have to hit 15 clips. If you only have 11 good clips, don't fill it with 3 clips that you're not playing too well. Think of it, I know I always say this cheesy stuff, but your highlight reel is like a trailer to a movie. It is your way of getting a coach hooked and your way of getting a coach interested in learning more. So definitely use your best footage, and it shouldn't be more than 3.5 minutes long. We ran an analysis I think it was last year on SportsRecruits of, okay, on average, how long do coaches watch video on SportsRecruits? Like, of a video, how long are they watching? And the average time was 3 minutes and 18 seconds. So another thing that I like to say about highlight reels is put your best clips first. Don't think of it as like, oh, I want to end on a strong note. What if the coach doesn't make it to the end of your video? What if they get distracted or something comes up? Put your best clips at the front of the video so that you have the best shot. Are Canadian schools included in the school search? Yes, you will. If you go into the school search, you can filter by location, and you can also filter by conference, and it's a map. So you'll see there's a map on the school search tool. So you can even zoom in. Like if you know you want to be in Ontario, you can look at all of the schools in Ontario, and their coaches are on the platform as well. Yes. Okay. Do coaches consider academic status? 100%. You are a student athlete. You are getting recruited to go play for a school. You're not getting recruited to go pro. So you want to make sure that your academics are never up for debate or up for a question. The better your grades are, the better your shot is at getting recruited, and the better your shot is at getting a scholarship. Sometimes a coach will say, hey, I can only give you 15%. That's all I'm able to budget and offer you as an athletic scholarship, but we can help you get an academic scholarship from the school as well. So it's only going to help your case to have, better grades. I think that goes without saying. All right. Well, this has been awesome. Great questions. Thank you all so much for coming. Schedule a call with me if you want to learn more about the membership options, or if you just have questions. I'm happy to help with anything. We do help multi-sport student athletes. Schedule a call, show you how to set up your dual sport profile. But it was great talking with you all. I hope you enjoy the rest of the night. Thank you so much.